What's up everybody, Couch Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Halo Infinite video. And if you want to make money playing Halo, if you want to grind the path to pro, become cracked at the game, and become just like one of these top tier pros over the past weekend. I mean, it was some really sick matches. If that's your goal, then this is the video for you, because we're gonna break down exactly what you need to know to chase that path to pro in Halo Infinite. But right now, the GameLeap website is your #1 place to improve very quickly with in-depth strategy guides, pro match breakdowns, tips and tricks, mindset videos, and more. You gotta go check it out right now down below. Now, there are actually only some regions that can qualify, so let's read those out. First off, North America, which is US, Canada, and Puerto Rico. Mexico, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand are the only competing regions this time around. Definitely let me know if you're in a region that is not included, and I'll be sure to reach out to the developers and the esports organizers asking about your region in the potential future. Now, the first thing that you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to sign up for FACEIT. Every single online tournament is gonna be run through FACEIT, the website. You have to create an account, and it tracks every single one of the games you play in any tournament, and it's going to build you a resume. And this is one of the best ways for you to not only find other players, but build up a resume where people want to recruit you, people want to bring you into their team, and it is a great way to start building up your baseline if you're serious about climbing the path to pro. Now, there are many things that every single team is looking for, but besides a high rank, the big ones are first, in-game leader, which is the ability to call strategies and dictate the overall pace to your team. Very important for communication, and in fact, the #2 is just communication in general. Regardless of whether you're an IGL or not, being able to communicate effectively to your team is a really good thing. And then the last one is a little bit strange, but it's actually likability. Honestly, people don't want to team with you if you're not likable. Don't be an asshole and be respectful to everybody. And I promise you, it's going to open far more opportunities on good teams than just about anything else. Now, let's actually briefly talk about the different event types. There's online tournaments that are taking place on the FACEIT platform, and there's a number of different stakes depending on where they fit in on the roadmap, and some of them are going to be qualifiers into bigger events as well. There's the Pro Series, which is going to take the top professional teams in each region, and it's going to have them compete up against aspiring top amateur players in order to increase the depth of each region. And I'm going to tell you exactly how you can become an amateur player, which is something you can actually work towards. And this is an amazing opportunity to get yourself a ticket to fight against some of the best players in the entire world in Halo and make a name for yourself out of nowhere. Now, there's the Supers and the Regionals. So basically, the Supers are going to be an online tournament for qualification into the big championship, and the Regionals is going to be a live event where people can go in and compete for cash prizes. Next up is the Major. The Majors are the biggest open events in the entire season. They feature pool play for teams from each region, as well as a massive open bracket open to any team from the participating regions. These will feature the biggest prize pools, the most points, and will determine qualification for events that follow depending on where in the roadmap they sit, including Super Regionals as well as the Halo World Championship. This is the one that just happened. We just had a Major, and it's very important that if you are serious about climbing the path to pro, you compete in every one of these imaginable. Of course, you want to build up a good team and you want to participate in online tournaments as well. But as you'll see in a second, when it comes to the points that you earn as an individual, you need to be competing in the majors if you want to get the most amount of points. Now, last up, of course, is the Halo World Championship, which is like the Golden Globe Awards for freaking Halo, and it's the big one. It's the big tournament that every single person or team that qualifies for this event, they're gonna all have a chance to basically become cemented as the #1 team in the world in Halo, and it's pretty exciting, but that's many steps in the future. Let's talk about the early steps first to get those nailed down. Now, basically, you're gonna be needing to get HCS points to rank you in the competitive ecosystem. You can earn points by having an Xbox Live account in good standing, signed and linked to your FACEIT and Esports Engine platform. And let's actually look at some of the ranks here. There is Pro, and you can see the requirements to be a pro depending on your region. It's fundamentally different. Then Semi-Pro, then Amateur Elite, and then Amateur. Now, if we look right there, Amateur only needs 100+ points, and you get points depending on your placement in a lot of the different events, like the online tournaments and the major open events. Now, for those of you who are a little bit of a lone wolf, down below, it actually says, finally, they will be hosting online free-for-all tournaments in each of the 4 regions for cash prizing, as well as open free-for-all tournament for $5,000 at each of the live events. Not only is free-for-all a fan favorite mode, but it's important for discovering new talent in the scene and giving players without teams a path to complete an HCS. So this is actually really cool. If you are like a god, like a fragger, and you're nuts at free-for-all, and you go into these tournaments, not only can you make some easy cash in the online tournaments and the main event if you're cracked, but you could potentially get picked up by a team altogether, someone looking to fill out their roster. And honestly, that's pretty freaking cool. Now we can actually look at the roadmap right here. Keep in mind that we just passed the Rayleigh Major, the kickoff major, and this is a rough estimate of what the roadmap's gonna be like. Right now, these are kind of loosely set in stone, and I say loosely because they are potentially subject to change. Now, down below, we're not going to be able to list all of these, but if you want to, you can go check out the link down below after the video where you can see all of the different dates that are happening between NA, EU, Mexico, Australia, and New Zealand. There's a whole bunch of different events that you could potentially get in on. So it's important to keep track of these if you want to make sure that you and your team don't miss any event to qualify for points. The next thing that we got to talk about is the fun stuff. The majors are going to have 250,000 split up between the regions. The Halo World Championships is going to have 1 freaking million. And of course, they're going to have the free-for-all tournaments being prized as well. But in addition to this, they are also going to be crowdfunding for all of the tournaments. What this means is that a small amount of each purchase that is made in the Halo Infinite store is going to be contributing to the HCS prize pool all season long. Now, this is fundamentally different from you buying pro team skins, which a percentage of those go directly to the orgs. This is actually just anything you buy. It's going to be going to the big prize pool. So technically, if you buy something, you climb up in like a tournament and you win it, a percentage of the money you spent technically goes back to you. I mean, it's astronomically small, but you get the picture. It's pretty cool that the purchases that anyone makes supports the scene overall. It's a great way to connect the scene with just your average player. There are prizing caps. So the majors prizing caps is $350,000, and there's actually going to be some specialty amount of crowdfunding for the World Championship, but they are not going to share that yet. We'll know more about that later on. Now, before we talk about the maps and modes, we need to make sure that you have everything in order to sign up. Make sure that you have your account, Xbox Live account, active, good standing, register for account on Faceit, register for account on Esports Engine platform, and make sure that your Xbox Live account is linked to your Faceit account and the Faceit platform, and ensure your Faceit account is linked to your Esports Engine account and Esports Engine platform. I know, that's a lot of freaking steps, but you gotta make sure to do it. On top of that, you gotta make sure that you sign up for tournaments when things open up. Right now, things are not open, but they will be. And the best way to make sure that you are ready to sign up is the ACS Twitter, where they're gonna tweet out all of the big updates, or you can just follow Coach Mills OW on Twitter, because I'm gonna be retweeting all of the important information, and I can answer any questions if you just hit me up. Now, it's kind of interesting. These are the maps and modes. So for Slayer, you're going to be able to play on Live Fire, Recharge, Streets, Bazaar, Aquarius. For Capture the Flag, it's only Bazaar and Aquarius. It's interesting that no Behemoth is in here. Even they know that that's not a competitive map. No, I'm just kidding. Stronghold is Live Fire, Recharge, and Streets. And Oddball is Live Fire, Recharge, and Streets. So it's really important to know this, because if you're ever planning on scrimming, which you should do, by the way, to practice, you need to make sure that you're only practicing the maps that are actually going to be enabled or going to be possible to play in some of these online tournaments. Now, in all honesty, Halo has made it more possible than ever to chase the freaking path to pro. There's so many avenues, there's so much potential for someone who has never been dominant at all or not even known, a brand new player, to climb the path to pro. If you get good enough, you prove your worth, and you consistently attend these freaking events. Not only that, but it just seems so goddamn fun. Maybe when I stop botting out on this brand new controller I just bought, trying to figure it out, I'll freaking join a team and I'll tell you how it goes. But go to the Game Leap website right now if you want to get all the skills you need to dominate HCS, climb the path to pro, and just improve as a player, climbing through Onyx and above. Go check it out right now down below because of all the in-depth guides, advanced tips and tricks and strategy. Right now, go check it out. But thank you so much for coming by. Hope you enjoyed the video. I love your faces, and I'll see you next time.